Do you do little strips everywhere, or do you just chuck the sheets up and time versus material?
Yeah.
Because either way, they both cost. You're incrementally improving the performance, but like doubling the cost.
Less bang for buck.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's the
it's all about the bang, Jeff. So if you have on one side of the curve performance, and on this side of the curve you have cost. It's always juicy with Jeff.
Our saviour.
Yo, running out of
Dry space to film was the main thing, I think.
We've done basically the one episode already.
just one. Let's keep ripping into it then, eh?
Yep.
Let's do it aside.
Yep, for sure. Yo, we're here on Jeff's rural dream lot, and Jeff shouted coffees today. Cheers, Jeff.
No worries.
Let's go inside. So we're in your house, Jeff, and it's a little bit cold.
the fire's not in you.
Oh, that's it. And probably the bats. And
Yeah, they're almost in.
Yeah.
They're mostly in.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of a difference already the bats make, eh?
Yeah, just the feeling of warmth, and it is probably a little bit warmer, but also the noise as well.
Yeah, that's the big thing you notice with the combination of double glazing and the bats is all of a sudden it like really quietens down in here. So fire's on an angle like this, eh?
Yep.
Then we go boom straight through the roof.
So, what made you want to go for a fireplace?
Ambience of the reason, like it's it's so nice having a fire, especially that you're in the bush as well.
All good rural houses need a fireplace.
Yeah, correct. We went for
all good semi-rural, off the grid, kind of off
Dream
the grid
homes.
dream homes.
that's the catchphrase, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And that's when you say subscribe.
yeah.
yeah. And it's a different kind of heat. You know, your heat pumps are great for providing that base layer, but nothing beats having a warm, toasty fire.
Yeah, even 2 nights ago, like, you know how the temperature dropped big time? I was like, oh well, we've got the fire, we might as well put it on.
Yeah.
I'd rather be too warm than too cold.
Yeah. Yeah, walk around in t-shirts with the door open in the middle of winter.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
don't feel bad about it,
Yeah.
which you would with aircon. So it's a central heating system, aircon in the roof, but its intake is next to the fire. If the fire's going, it'll just be acting as a heat transfer, and if the fire's not going, it'll be acting as a heating unit by itself. I had done a lot of reading and getting confused on all the different varieties of systems, HRV and DVS and all the other 3-litre companies. You mentioned go talk to Adam, and he was awesome just to line up exactly what we needed.
Yeah, cool cat to the rescue. Cheers, Adam. Yo, so I'm just on site with Adam, cool cat.
How's it going? We've just done a pre-pipe here for a heat pump. We're going for a 8 kilowatt Mitsubishi Electric.
Up there, it will be.
Runs. We've also installed a fresh air supply and a heat transfer. So the fireplace is going to be mounted down here. And we're going to have an inlet sucking through our filter and supplying the bedrooms with nice warm air.
Cool. And then, so does that just like run in the background? Like, I don't have to do anything about it, eh?
It's all automatic.
Like
So
set and forget?
set and forget.
Cool.
And then we've got a little damper that we can switch to bring only fresh air in and supply the bedrooms.
Nice. Awesome.
when it comes to insulation, did you look at other products or just pink bats?
Just pink bats. I didn't even consider looking at anything else, to be fair.
Jeff's actually ended up upgrading his walls to 2.8, and we've done the roofs R4. Very similar to what I did on the section nobody wanted, and we talked about in that video finding a sweet spot on the curve where you get a bang for buck upgrade, but combining what you're putting in the walls with what you're putting in the heat source, looking at insulation as a whole.
And the windows.
Yeah, rather than looking at each thing in isolation, because at the end of the day, it's the combination of all those things working together. I call it like the cost-benefit relationship. This is, my wife's been doing paint samples. We're definitely not using this colour, so I can draw on it. So if you have on one side of the curve, you have performance, and on this side of the curve you have cost. There's an entry point on the curve, and then it goes up. But I believe that you get to a point up here, or it's probably not flat, but the cost starts to go up hugely, but the gains that are only marginal. So you want to be looking like, how do I sit in this sweet spot here? It's going to cost more than the minimum, but how do I get the best bang for buck before you reach this point on the curve of diminishing returns where you're starting to sink thousands of dollars and you're only incrementally improving your thermal efficiency. First up, you've got design of house and north-facing windows and capturing the sun. You've got things like making sure you can get a breeze in and out of the house as well for summer. And then you look at like, how are we going to live? And for example, if you're out of the house all day, every day, a fireplace probably isn't that suitable, whereas a heat pump or a central ducted system is. Then you look at things in the wall, you look at the building envelope. How you're going to generate the heat is kind of one side of the question, and then how you're going to stop the heat escaping or also stop the warm air coming in. And so then that is insulation in the walls, double glazing, design of building. So it's kind of like comes back to full circle, back to design.
I'm either going to have to put something on the floor or something on the wall.
It would make sense to just push the wall out.
How come you've got to apply this stuff here?
So bracing.
Oh yeah, because of the wind?
Because of the wind zone, and then because of the size of the wall. When you have big openings on your walls, you remove the amount of bracing elements. That little thing there is bracing all of the horizontal movement. So we actually only need the ply on the bracing element, but then you put it everywhere else. Because now we've had to pack that out 7 mils.
Yeah, I see.
You need the rest of your wall to be the same.
Otherwise you've got to pack it out in a different way.
Yeah. The only other way around it is to cut lots and lots of little strips, but it's actually more work, so you
might as well just put...
Yeah.
And then it's something going to add more bracing anyway, isn't it? So
Yeah. We kind of weighed up, like, do you do little strips everywhere, or do you just chuck the sheets up? And by chucking the sheets up, you kind of get more efficient use of time. You're weighing up time versus material. Yeah. Because either way, they both cost.
What's the plan for the garage? Is it going to be cars or gym or?
No, not gym for me. No, just the cars. It'll be nice to finally have cars inside as opposed to, parked in the driveway or something.
So it's hard to see, but above us here is going to be your attic storage room.
Yep.
And so we've had specially designed trusses where we've left a void in the middle. Yep. Beefed up the bottom, got some flooring sheets up there. We're going to cut an attic stair in there. So the next time, we'll be hanging out in Jeff's attic.
In the secret room.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what we'll be doing up there, Jeff.
Drinking coffee and talking about the house, probably.
Yeah.
So we chose not to insulate the garage, mainly for financial reasons, but we don't expect to be using it any more than popping in there to grab something every now and then, so it seemed kind of silly to spend the extra money to insulate that. Insulation is definitely a thing where you can keep
going down the rabbit hole.
Absolutely, and everyone kind of talks about they want a really well designed and fully insulated almost self-heating home, a passively heated home. What we found was it was almost unachievable, the amount you'd have to do. Like, I know I had a discussion with the window team about different kinds of gas inside the window or thermally broken windows, and just the cost of adding each thing exceeded what you'd be paying for many years in heating for that product. And it kind of felt like if you were going to do that for the windows, you'd have to go even higher in the walls, and then even higher in the roof, and then it kind of became an endless diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, that's the word, diminishing
There we go.
returns. You get to this point where, hey, that's a legitimate increase in cost, but it's a legitimate return, and then you're incrementally improving the performance, but like doubling the cost.
Less bang for buck.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
layman's
It's all
term
about
of
the bang,
diminishing
Jeff.
returns.
Should we hold this up? Yeah.
Alright, so no crouching down.
Okay, so what do? Do we hug it or like...
Just steer longingly. Think warm thoughts. Epic.